Coby White, like my buddy Jackson, aka Will Upton always says, Coby Jack White. What is it? Coby Jack White? Yeah, Coby Jack White. I don't know why that came off so weird, but either way. I knew last year wasn't an anomaly. It's always weird to think about Coby when you look at him, because if you guys remember him at North Carolina, it's wild to see the guy. Because, Coby's a scorer, but I also thought, Coby was going to become this facilitator, but, you always knew the scoring was there. He's just so efficient. 35 points, baby. Just keep getting better. 24 years old, man. And he's so far this season, 22.5 points, 7 rebounds, 5.5 assists, almost 49% from the field. He's just scoring so well. And in a game that they beat the Milwaukee Bucks, the Bulls have looked good. And obviously Zach LaVine has been a big part of this, but I think Coby White is just continuing to show that, hey, maybe he is an offensive engine more than we thought. So they've been running the 3-guard lineup that I kind of hinted at during my season prediction preview, that I thought, going into the season, and I think a lot of Bulls fans would agree with me, that we straight up thought, hey, because Billy Donovan did this with the Oklahoma City Thunder when he had Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Dennis Schroeder, and Chris Paul, we wouldn't be surprised if he tries to emulate the similar thing with a Josh Giddey, Coby White, Zach LaVine, and that's exactly there, because then you have Patrick Williams as the lockdown defender at the 4 spot, and then Vooch is stretching the floor, and whenever Vooch comes off the floor, I think Jalen Smith has done a decent job at basically helping, be kind of like a microwave big who comes in, gives you a few rebounds, is able to score points. I know through 2 games he's been averaging 13, and then you have I know Buzelis seems to be being brought in slowly, but the cool thing about the 3-guard lineup is Ayo DeSumo and Dalen Terry basically can come in for either Zach LaVine, Coby White, Josh Giddey, so they can stagger all those guys' minutes because they all play basically the same position. And then Pat Williams is backed up by Phillips, and Julian Phillips just comes in, and it works out really well. And then you mix in a little bit of Buzelis, and then, like I said, with Jalen Smith. So in this interesting way, it's really unlocking one another. And I think that's the biggest thing, that if you're following this, I've seriously enjoyed how they've done it. Coby White coming in, just this hot shooting Chicago Bulls team. First off, Josh Giddey scored 17, and they shot as a unit 21 of 47, almost 53s. And after, this thing is just crazy. Coby White 2 points off of a career high. Also, Lonzo Ball didn't play. That's another thing is Lonzo didn't play tonight. I think they just want to make sure that knee's good. But you also have Lonzo. So you have these 2 defenders in Lonzo and Patrick Williams. You also have Torrey Craig, who didn't play either. But you have all these defenders, all these guys then who can play multi-positional, because you're basically positionless until you get to the forwards and the centers. And I think it's huge. It's huge. And I think Patrick Williams is another guy who looks like he's growing into himself. Seriously, this is a very, very... I know Patrick Williams is shooting 38% from the year, but against 2 games in, I think they're doing a really solid job, and he needs to be giving credit to how well this roster is seemingly being constructed. And I'm not sitting here and being oh, they're contenders or anything. And the season can go any way. It's the first 2. But really, this, I personally think, just because of how the draft is, I think a lot of people want to do the new thing that's going to happen. I'm going to segue right here. The new thing that seems to be happening is, I think the best case scenario for a team like Chicago is everybody, if you're not a contender or a team that's going to go on a deep playoff run, it seems like everybody wants to pull an Atlanta Hawks which is, okay, you're just good enough to make the play-in, but you're just bad enough that if you lose in the play-in, you're still a lottery team, and you can get a good odds to still get a draft pick. So basically, you still get the experience of playing in games that matter, but you're able still to somewhat tank and keep the draft pick, while it's like kind of a win-win situation if you're a team that's either retooling or in the midst of like trying to like exit a rebuild, but you're not fully trying to be a playoff team. Because if you're just gonna be a first round exit and like not seriously contend, there makes no sense to waste your, draft picks if you can keep them. So I think that's just something to think about. And I want to hear your guys' thoughts in the comment section. What do you guys? So I want to hear your guys' thoughts. What do you think's gonna happen and why? But yeah, that's basically my thought right there. I think that's just gonna be definitely interesting how this all plays out, because I think this is a really good setup for Chicago, what they have. So that's it. I'm back. I actually meant to add this little part. I want to say this. First off, I'm a firm believer in that when you're trying to, really with the modern NBA, I think the thing Billy Donovan realized was, hey, we're not going to ever win this battle of, like, there's no way they're going to improve their center position. In the sense that, no offense to Nikola Vucevic, you're just not the guy that you used to be in Orlando. And I think he realized with Andre Drummond and stuff that, like, the problem to fix their defense, I think, was never going to be by fixing the interior defense. I think he realized to fix the interior defense, they had to go full hard into the perimeter defense. And you'd be like, well, they got rid of Caruso. And I know, but I think they really just went positionalist. Like, they're running 5 guards. Like I've said earlier, Lonzo Ball, Ayo Dosunmu, Josh Giddey, Zach LaVine, and Coby White. And then you sprinkle in Torrey Craig, Dalen Terry, and Matas Buzelis and Pat Williams as the forwards. And there, I guess Dalen Terry is a wing guard, point wing, whatever. He was a point guard in college. I really don't know what his position now in the NBA is. And then you have your 6th man in a way. There, first off, what's going on with Javon Carter? Javon Carter fits perfectly in here, and so I guess he's in the doghouse. They paid him for no reason, but it works out really well for how they're doing it. Then you have Vooch and Jalen Smith kind of being like this like machine together. I personally like it, and I think it's very, very good for them. So that's where I want to hear your guys' thoughts in the comment section. Do you guys agree with my like take right here that this is kind of like them just basically trying to be a really good perimeter defense, just a really good perimeter team in general, just like perimeter offensive team and a perimeter defensive team, and just really going hard onto this whole idea of let's just be this team that just wins by being on the perimeter. So that's just my thoughts right there. I want to hear your guys' down below in the comment section. If you guys agree with me, let me know. That's it for me. I did make it to 8 minutes, so suck my nuts. Bye.